to make college easier because students have a lot on their.
There we go. And I actually remembered to loop it this time. So yesterday I was streaming. A windstorm knocked out the power for a bit. Unfortunately saved before that happened, and Maya's autosave did not give me. So I'm gonna remake those shingles real quick since I lost them. Food. And let me scale this better. So let me re-stitch this stuff back together like I was doing. Stitch these two together. Okay, so I also, since yesterday, I did play around with that material a little bit more. So it should look better once we bring it into the engine. Again, I tapered that one spot on it. That was too sharp of an edge. Find it. And the proof. Well, you can even see kind of now there's a nice little taper on that edge. It's supposed to have a hard edge. So the normals should read more cleanly in Unity. Rotate. Line back up how I had it yesterday, and then we'll work on modeling it. This is what I'm gonna break this off. Helps if you pay attention when you're sewing stuff that you're sewing. You want. Look, why did that? There we go. Good. Again, like I was mentioning yesterday, this is probably gonna end up as part of a trim sheet. Although I might have a tile version, like this. This section down here is probably going to get replaced with something. But for now, this works. Good. And I'm going to do the exact same thing I did yesterday. So I'm just gonna give myself a bevel here. And then I'm going to... hold on. Before I bevel... give myself... just kind of boxy one for now. Actually, hold on. I want this to also... slightly angled. Let me do that. I probably should have... good. Now I'll duplicate this. Off. Good. And I will start to build the start building the more modeled versions. Getting stuff that I lost yesterday when the power went out back. Oops, if I hit the right button. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna go back again and fix something because I just realized I did not completely fix my UVs how I had it yesterday. I had these scaled up. 2 of them are falling on it. This shit. There we go. Oops. Bryce. Holy do I do. That is why I was getting weird results right now. There, that's looking more like I wanted. Cool. Make sure these are snapped to the edges so everything's snapped together. And then this part up here is probably gonna get or these faces are probably gonna but for now pull that in V. Right. Okay, so now we will duplicate. And go back to them. Multi-gut tool. And I want 20 segments. Fraction. Oops. Grab fraction. Fraction of 1. You will pull up slightly to get that kind of rounded look to it that I wanted. Good. Well, I might elongate these. I'll just do that together. Okay. And then we'll duplicate this one. Right there. And then this one will be slightly beveled. And again, anybody wasn't here yesterday when I was doing essentially this again, and then I lost power. What I'm doing is just kind of getting some iteration to see how much detail is going to fit the style of game that we're going for, which is kind of very old school EverQuest classic feeling, very boxy. So even this could potentially be more detail than we go with, but I think this might actually work pretty well. But I'm not being efficient with these edges or anything like that right now. So I'm just kind of doing some look dev type stuff. Probably line these up. Is blocky is one bevel. This way. Let me play with this bevel real quick. I don't like how this one. Mouse. There. Probably. Oxy. And this one. Duplicate off of that. But I apologize. I'll be sniffing and maybe sneezing occasionally today. My allergies are. Kind of like 0.55. I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay. So, check the edges are all reading like I want. So, this one is a hard edge. That's nice and smooth. That looks good. Same with this one. And then this one needs me to actually define the hard edges. Hard edge. They defaulted this time, which is weird because last night they were definitely reading hard. They defaulted to what I wanted. So this time I'm going to remember to save the So now if it crashes, I at least back to where we were last night before I lost power. Alright, so I kind of want all of these be a little longer though. I think he's hardcore right now. Okay. So save that. And let's export these out and see how they look. Copy that. Just need the B1 for now for bevel, and then eventually these are going to get further. B2. B3. Okay. Be super. Oh, the wind here is nowhere near as bad as it was. Find these. And we will porting them, and I'll bring them into Unity. Do the visual tests that I was hoping to do. How's everybody doing today? Alright. So those are good for now. I'm gonna not close Maya because every time I go and close Maya, I end up needing it. I want to go back up unless it causes some issues. Let's go into I'll just use it now since it's older. Make sure that the files are actually they got capture. World. They are, but I'm actually gonna delete the old ones and bring in the new. Bring in. And I do if I have some, rights. Real. Okay. So. Actually, I'm gonna be right back, guys. Go blow my nose off screen because my nose is crazy right now. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright. This cold weather, warm weather fighting stuff is kicking my ass. But late. Alright, so we got those. And I want to go back into my main package. Scale Geo for now. We will import. Oh, did I export those? Let me double check that I exported those out, is it? Okay. That was a good thing to actually, like, do that. There we go. So, material. Alright, so I am going to now bring these in. Let's get my snapping a little better. And try... the high one first, and then kind of pull it back. Right. That edge looks terrible right now, but that's, again, that's going to be something that's probably going to be on part. This bottom part as well. Oh! Yeah. Am I muted now? Can you hear me? Oh, there. Or can you hear me now? Might have muted it. Oh, there we go. I think I actually went, when I went off to the other room to blow my nose, I muted it so that you guys wouldn't hear grossness in the background. But I think I actually accidentally muted my music. I think that's what I did. Because I have this, I put a third monitor that I haven't used in years and has like dead pixels streaking down it and stuff, over to the side to use during streaming. But it is so small that it covers up a lot of stuff, so I clicked the wrong. But as long as we're good now. Let me go back into this material now because the normal map is really strong on it. ceramic, and let's tone this down. Yeah. Definitely an amazing monitor. Not really. But it's getting me by without me having to buy another one, so I will not. Calm that down a bit and smoothness. Make it not glossy. It's not looking too bad. Sometimes selecting meshes in this try easy. Oh, let me select. There we go. Yeah, everything's snapping just like I wanted it to. So those look pretty good. They are definitely, fairly modeled out, but I still don't think that's too bad, actually. I'll probably send some screenshots to they feel about the roundness of that, if it's modeled or not, but it looks pretty good. Oh yeah, nice spam there. How do I moderate remove spammer? There. There we go. Oh, you can just type /ban. I think I found it the other way, but there we go. You want to buy some fake viewers, Eric? Alright. Let's take a look at these other ones. Geo. Two. One. Just the normal squared one. All rotate in the same direction. this is the one I already had. What am I doing? This is the one that I want. That selecting in here can get really annoying. Although I have the same issues sometimes in Unreal, especially in Unreal with things that have that are using alphas and have transparency. Those can get super annoying without having to go into like world outline or our hierarchy in this. Bevel 2. Did I not do Bevel 3? Whatever. So I don't know if it makes too big of a difference. Obviously, this flat one is very blocky, very boxy. Probably the closest to classic, but I don't know if adding that little bit extra detail really really does too much. No. You like the extra bits? I mean, this could work, especially, again, all of these would, if I was doing this, will probably end up having a trim sheet for the front, because that just isn't going to work. But I think giving it just a little bit of extra detail isn't too bad. I don't know if I'd go with the full nice and round one, maybe more of the slightly boxier, like one of these two. Kind of help keep that aesthetic, but have it, but still pushed a little bit further than it would be. Another thing I wanted to try out with these is how they might look with oops, actually I want to go back. How they would look if I have a like a little like window port or something kind of sticking off of this. So I'm gonna throw that on real quick. I'm just gonna make a 4x4. Just by 2 is probably even larger, like by 1. So do that, and then we will add in. Actually, I need to actually build that. Grab. Excuse me. the edge here, and we will add in an loop. Again. And another edge loop. I have to figure out how. Oops. Okay. Click on the correct edge loop. Window here. There we go. And let's throw another edge loop in here. No, I'm gonna leave it as a square window. But I am going to extrude this facing. Okay. And these faces, the group. We'll sign. Those eight. And two. Just here. Pretty good. And then I'm just going to flood this with vector color. That works. Okay. So now for up top here, I'm going to go into Maya and model something. So it needs to be 1 by 4. Layer. Oh. Okay. Select them. There we go. Alright. So, let me build myself a box that'll work for this. side. Okay. So I'm gonna make equal that. I am not sure what just happened there. Sometimes Maya can do some really bizarre things on you. Let's try this. Grease transforms. Why is it doing that? Let's just bring in a new one. I'm not sure what's going on. There we go. So, let me bring this up. Started at a meter, it's probably gonna be way too steep. Each other. Good. Okay, so now let me play with this a bit. Jeez. Hey, it worked. Sometimes that does not work. Okay. Let's that. I'm gonna get these. So the edges that should be straight are going to be straight. All right. Now let's. Probably should have named it, but whatever. And now let's snap this in a pause. Alright, so that is good. I'm gonna line this with the line there. And actually, I really shouldn't do that because it gives. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe I do like. I'm gonna a little bit close. Like there's another tile starting. And now I'm just going to do this for side pieces. Except I'm obviously playing. You're gonna have to pay attention. Oh, it's aligned. this way. Did this not snap? There we go. Actually, that's what I want. And then I'm going to bring this. Match. That, and then to hide the seam, do another model piece going to be over there. Although the boxiness might actually not be too bad, so I'm going to save this as a this is an alternate version. If I can get this with bevel, I may have to just actually, it did not work too bad. Drop a in the middle. No, I'm gonna do it with an extrude. Send it along the edge. Very good. And we'll do the same over here. And then hold on a second. I'm gonna try to do here is just bevel paper. Here. Actually, bring up my reference quick. So that I know I'm not just trying to do this off from memory. Really the best way to work. Is it? I'll bring it up on screen for you guys to see in a second. Find what creation. There you go. So I'm just kind of looking at something similar to this, with the tiled portions up here, and then having this kind of to cover up the seam. Versions. guess there's kind of right there, but really easy to see. Or right here, actually. These ones are going to center, though, where mine is not. So I'll probably do take on that as well. All of these are going to that. So I may have to play with this more. Get it accurate. Let's fix this part first. Go in and UV this. Off edge. That in the right. This. And that's probably gonna have too many. Yeah, those are too small. They're small, it means this. Make the image larger on them. Warping. Alright. Now it's really just kind of playing around with the length of the UV to kind of get it to the scale that I'm... It's not going to be spot on perfect, but I do kind of want it to be similar. Probably one more. Right around there. Probably what I want. Thing again. That one. And this one I'm actually going to slim down slightly as well. There we go. Works pretty well. I am going to fix some of these edges are rendering pretty hard right now. So you can see like that edge running down. I don't know if I want that, so I'm going to get rid of it, at least initially. Again, the project itself, having that wanting to have that old school feel, but also feeling kind of new. It's a little bit of playing around with these types of things. What's too new? What's not new enough? Been kind of a fun balance so far. At least when I'm playing around with some environment assets. So we got that. I'm gonna duplicate this one, and I'm gonna do a version where these are both coming towards this. And I'm just going to fix the warping that you can see going on with the UVs currently. So let's fix that on this one. And then we'll export these over. And then I'm also going to probably play around with them. We'll see how that looks. As is. Fix these UVs. So I moved the stuff around. Granted, these little spots right here that probably should fix it. They look all right, actually, but so let's cut that. Fold it. Ooh. Projection. There we go. For now, the texture isn't, again, 100% up for it. Okay. But for now, I'll do it. But again, to kind of tuck this into one of those darker areas. Is also pretty fat, so a ton. Okay, got those. And then these, it's gonna unfold, but I know that I squished them together, so I'm just gonna unfold it along the U, which is sideways. You can see how that kind of cleaned that up. And then I'll do the same with these ones as well. Let me try to scale this so you can see what's going on. So fold along U. Kind of alleviates some of the pinching and doesn't change the length, so I still have 4 of these tiles. And it didn't make it really large or really small or whatever the algorithm felt like doing. I just hit unfold in general. So those look pretty good. Now the fans here are probably going to increase, starting to not matching it. Let's move this up. Good. And then I'm going to do another version of this one as well. That again is just these almost making like half a pyramid. Look at the grid. So they're symmetric. And then we'll just fix these UVs, same exact thing. Oh, I do want to check on this though. These are not, they're starting in the middle of a tile as opposed to being on the edge. So let me go back and check. Yep, did the same thing over here. There. Okay. Middle as well. There we go. I'm gonna this, and we will name these. Roof 1, X4. Of the version. One, I'm just gonna call this 0.2. 0.2 is gonna be the higher versions of all these. Roof. Okay. Get over that one, and then let's export these ones out and bring them over and take a look how well that idea works and how the material's looking, at least with that portion. Or over in Unity. Initially, but whatever. So 1. 1.2. 2. 2.2. Bring those over to my version level, and I'm going to close out of my PureRef because that is the file itself is huge, so I'm sure I'm okay. Bring these in here. And pull. These. Ah. No. Stop double clicking on that. I think part of that again goes back to me being more of an Unreal user. Oops, I wasted on it. Well. You have to double click to get into the same thing in Unreal. Why do we not have? Where is my bit? Oops. Keep that. What is going on? Oh, there we go. I was in face mode. Problem was. Okay. Bring in the first one back. Let's make that 180. Yeah, I have the lip of it still on there. Which could be easily fixed with UVs. But it is causing annoying look. On here because for now. Pretty well. Grab this. Helps with great hotkey. It with yeah, no, I agree. I was thinking the same thing. Getting a little bit of overhang with it would be nice as well. Although this does feel very old school and boxy. That edge is not where I want it. I actually want to lay that down flat. Let's try playing around with that with another version. Actually, I do like it with the seam. Or oh no, it's like drag the same one in. What am I doing? I want this one without the seam. There we go. Yeah, it's definitely old school looking. I do like it with that on there though, but I'll leave theme obviously. Make the final call on what we think works for the aesthetic. I'm gonna go back in and fix some of this stuff. So I'm gonna lay these flat on this one that'll cover up this little area, and then I'm gonna do another version with the overhang, like you said, Goblin. I was thinking the same thing before you said that. Maybe take the base of the window just so you can see what that overhang might look like. Yeah, I mean, I could. The only problem is there's no faces on the bottom, so there won't be an overhang currently the way it's modeled. So let me go back and fix these in Maya, and I'm gonna save this just on the off chance I crash again or lose power. So let's fix these. And jumping between programs can be so, it's like mind-bending when you're trying to jump between programs and have your navigation not get all screwed up. Oh shoot, I'm on edge, huh? My tool's acting. Still acting like I have. Why? Not mean to make that a live surface. Sweet. So if you hold the right. What is going on? Hold on. Am I grabbing the wrong one? Probably would be better if I don't have everything stacked on top of each other as well. Yes. But that's that. Oop, hold on, I'm covering up chat. I do not know what we have in terms of music myself. I think Nick was talking to somebody about that. Nick, if you're still in here, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think that's what I remember reading or hearing, or maybe I just completely made that up. I don't know. All those options are completely possible. But no, I do not know. Oh, Nick's back. You might have some. Ah, there we go. So we've been talking, but we don't have anything set in stone yet. It'll be interesting to see once we get music into the game. That's such a I mean, good music can do so much for a game. Sure. Ah. I just fat fingered the wrong thing. Let's do this. And I'll subdivide that to make a... Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I mean, how much of like some of the games, like the music is just like pure nostalgia. I completely agree with that. That getting it right is definitely important. For, I mean, when I'm not on stream, I'll constantly have like the Kelvin song track playing on loop just to kind of keep me in the right mindset while I'm modeling and doing stuff. Because I'm like, oh, trying to capture that feeling, be thinking of it while I'm doing it. Okay. That is better. Hi, Antius. Welcome. Projection is good. Get them out kind of quickly. Ugh, those are projection. Let's do this one. There you go. And this part is really not going to be laid out well, like at all. Guess you can. You know what? I'll do it this way. These edges. There we go. Let's see. Something that helped me in the past with some projects is everyone, and if you're not musically inclined, which would be me, just humming to yourself. See if you can come up with a melody that fits. I'm honestly not even good at humming and finding tunes that I don't know. If I start humming, it's gonna turn into EverQuest, or it's gonna turn into Lord of the Rings. I guarantee it. If you think something, record it. That's cool though. I mean, if that works for you, totally. I don't feel like I would be contributing in a meaningful way to that at all. But I am not at all musically inclined. I've got some talented musicians in the family. I'm not one of them. Nothing much. Dev break, watching streams. Love EQ. Oh yeah, totally. We're very much lovers of EQ on this project. Yeah, I know. Which makes me feel really old, Nick. And that movie has aged fairly well over 20 years, I must say. But man, they've got such a good soundtrack. I'm really curious to see how the Amazon series is gonna be. That's coming out next year. It actually motivated me enough that the first time in 20 years, after probably a dozen attempts, I actually finished the Silmarillion for the first time. I tried reading it. I tried ebooks. I tried everything. It took me a solid 20 years to get through. But I enjoyed it. Can't necessarily keep all the characters straight. With all the Finrods and Fingolls and Fingolfins and like, it does not, my brain doesn't process that. And especially since they're all changing throughout throughout the books. Yeah. Yeah, I've read Lord of the Rings a couple times. My dad tried to get me to read The Hobbit before Lord of the Rings came out. I didn't read it. I kept putting it off. Then I saw Fellowship of the Ring and was like, oh, this is awesome. And then I powered through the trilogy and The Hobbit, and I have it on audio book and stuff now. I love audiobooks these days. Version H for overhang, but I can easily identify. And let's bring that in. Come on. My computer's so sluggish at like jumping between software packages once I'm streaming. Need to get some more RAM. Alright. Overhang. Material. Roof. Hold on, that didn't update. Roof. There we go. Oh. Getting laggy. I may have to reopen Unity. I had way too much stuff running on my machine right now. I'm gonna definitely have to upgrade my RAM at some. Not that I don't have a ton of RAM. What kind of rig am I working on? I'm assuming you're talking computer rig and not like rig for characters. I'm I'm working on a newer machine. My old one did not like streaming. I teach game design and 3D modeling and stuff, so I did a lot of streaming since COVID, and I needed to upgrade because my graphics card was just having fun, and it was really hard to find one. So I'm currently built a custom one through CyberPower. Or not CyberPower, iBuyPower. And it's got a 3090 in it, and 32 gigs of RAM right now. I would like to max it out, but I also don't have like $600 to drop on RAM right now. And then I think I have an i7 in it. I can't remember which one. But I mean, it's a pretty nice machine for sure. I just need to max out my RAM at some point. All right. Hey, Brayden, how you doing? Let's take a look and see how this looks. If it's super laggy, I might have to just restart. Oh, nice. You've got one. I was trying everywhere, and it was just like the amount. I couldn't get one in the store. I couldn't find one at MSRP, and it was like I can just get. I go to like a custom building site and build a computer with what I want. I can get that for a couple $100 more than just buying the card. So yeah, this is slightly laggy, but that is my machine for sure. Hi, Seek and Destroy Studios. Not much, just kind of playing around with some environment assets while to try to figure out some things while we're in the background working on lore, and then going to start redesigning our prototype city. So right now, I've been playing around, and of course it's nighttime. I might have to wait. Be able to see this? What? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, after this, I'm gonna totally restart this because the lag is driving me crazy. But just kind of working on that. The game itself is indie MMO, very traditional, old school EverQuest feel to it. So we're trying to keep that old school boxy feel, but play around with more modern lighting techniques and stuff like that as well. So kind of a little bit of a hybrid between the two to some degree, but trying to keep that old classic feel, nostalgic feel to it. I do like Goblin. I do like the overhang. I think that looks pretty good, and I don't think, obviously, this being kind of tapered right to it is going to work better for, being pure old school, but I do like that little extra bit of geo to it. I think that worked pretty well. Actually, I haven't walked around with these in here, although there's tons of layers because I've got a couple different versions. You just played blackjack with Connor, Braden? Winning all of his money? You guys betting at Papa's house? Yeah, I'm gonna restart my Unity client. I'm getting a bunch of lag, and I'm pretty sure I'm just stressing my computers. Opening that PureRef document probably didn't help at all. And if everybody is not familiar with our game, I'll make sure I'm writing my commands right. This is our website that you can learn some more about what we're doing, learn about the team, and then we also have a Discord. That you can follow along and talk with us and kind of get updates and stuff like that. And Seek and Destroy, thanks for the follow there. All right, let's take a look at it now. $1.43. Awesome. So you're familiar with the project then? That's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get to do some more regular streams. for the environment art side, especially as we start ramping up more of the designs and reworking the city, and with Goblin doing concepts and stuff. This is all played off of one of Goblin's concepts. If you haven't seen it already, this is kind of what I was playing off of. So what I was starting yesterday and kind of finished up today. Obviously, there's a bunch of different versions of here. It's just trying to get a feeling for how, like, tiles and stuff might work up there, and then potential just different like little window outlets and stuff like that. How those are gonna read. Yeah, and there's a there's a lot more that Goblin's been doing behind the scenes that I'm sure. I mean, I'm excited for everyone to see and react. I'm sure he's excited, and I'm sure most of the team, if not all the team, is excited to get you guys some of that stuff as it gets more refined and more finished. But yeah, I'm just kind of playing around. It's given me some stuff to play around with, and I'm playing around with materials and stuff like that right now that can be more permanent. Right now, there's obviously issues and stuff with these, but yeah, I like that. I really like I like just that little shadow that it gives from that overhang. Yep, the race lineup is looking really cool. I'm excited to see how everyone reacts to it. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, no, I'm really liking that. There's a little bit of like a gap back there, so I just have to push the geo back. I probably am off by like a unit or two, even though I haven't snapped. Probably just need to push the geo slightly back to get it to line up. But yeah, I really like the overhang. I think that might be the way to go. Again, it still feels kind of classic-y, but just a little push to freshen it up. And honestly, there's not a whole lot of visual difference between the multiple levels because there's such small detail. I might even consider just going with the more angular one with the one bevel. So it's got a little bit of geo to play off of with light. It's not completely flat. Flat, I think, works for these. But yeah, I think that one works really well. These two, you don't really see a difference. Yeah, I like the angles on that. I think it works pretty well. These ones are, obviously much more smooth. That one's flat. But yeah, I think that's gonna work pretty well. Alright, so let me making the executive decision on it right now to go with this one. I'm gonna take these other ones out for now. And that amazingly let me select all of that first try. It had not been doing earlier. Let me see. Pretty good. I'll leave these all in, I think, for now. So everyone can kind of take a look at it and how they feel from, again, we're probably not going to be like right up on them. They're going to be more viewed from, you know, a distance, like down here. Although, I'm sure there's going to be people, you know, jumping up on stuff and running around that way as well. But actually, you know what? I do not believe I generated whatchamacallits for these gliders. I did not. That. Oh. Playlist keeps pausing. Oh, what were you thinking? What are you thinking, Goblin? I could try out something while I'm on stream. Lips are getting chapped. Taking the wind is slightly irregular. Yeah, that's easy enough. Yeah, I can just I kind of played around with that a little bit. But this is super smooth. Yeah, I might even like that. Ah, my God, won't let me select. Sometimes the selection stuff is not not always the best. Let's try throwing it edge loop here. Give myself another edge loop. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna back up real quick, and I'm gonna make a duplicate of this because I was thinking about how annoying it is to get rid of edge loops with Pro Builder. So let me work on a second. Alright, so let's play around with these. Give ourselves some more geo to work. It's snap. We'll make it. Collect edges. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Pretty good. The question becomes when is too many, you know, too much. When does it become too much and starts pushing us out of that feel? But especially for like these more like mud brick, loam adobe based housing, messing. I thought about that as well, kind of messing with some of the windows a little bit more. Just kind of like, you know, just like this, kind of getting a little chunk out to kind of match. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but I saw just that little like spot right here, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll play around with that a little bit, just to kind of see how that kind of stuff is going to look and work. I'm playing with it on one of these too. Right on this. And this one's still using automatic. I, like an idiot, didn't use automatic on that. I was just playing around with it initially. But yeah, yeah. I think we can get away with certain just little spots like this, and especially where it makes sense. For you know, especially like these Adobe things that don't necessarily it'll give the feeling a little bit by just adding a couple a couple edge loops, and playing with that. I don't think that is as big of an issue. I think when we start, when I start adding in extra, bits in here and start really rounding stuff off, I think that is probably getting a little too far from it. But just a subtle, just kind of subtly playing around with some of this stuff with an extra edge loop or two, I don't think is that big of an issue here and there. Some places, obviously, I don't think that's going to work. But I think specifically in Night Harbor, especially in some of the more rundown areas of the sprawl, I think we can probably get away with it here or there to kind of just trick the eye into seeing it as more run down, more broken down. Even adding in, like little, breaks in walls and stuff like that where they're just kind of slouching or broken up. I think we can get away with it if we just are smart with how we do it. Looking pretty good though. Ah, clicking the wrong button. But yeah, I'm liking that. Wonder if I can play around with Pro Builder to make something like this real. I obviously could do it in my. I want to say if I can play how I can do this with Pro Builder. Plane. Cloth material in here. fabric. I think it's double-sided. Awesome, it is. Oh, that's not the fabric I want, though. That one's it. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. Alright, so I got that. Let's add in... Oh, it's already got an edge loop. Let's... Close. You know what? Let me uncollapse those. I'm gonna give myself 2 more edge loops to play with. I think it's gonna be over modeled with that. Snapping. And let's play with some vector color. Close the image. And I'm going to modify this color to... Oh, come on. I have to do this off screen. There we go. And fine. Oh, I could pitch it that way. The material itself must not have a vector color in it. Wonder if let's duplicate this. Blue. And it doesn't have... Closed it again. I need to stop doing that. I'm just gonna multiply it this way. Oh, it also helps if I... find that bit. Oh. got a little bit of other color in it. In the texture itself, it's not desaturated, so it's a little off. All that good for now, at least. I'm not gonna worry too much. Let's play with the UV real quick while I have it out here in the light. Trying to do this so that you guys can see what I'm doing, but also like have real estate on my screen. That was supposed to turn it so I don't. Whatever. Kind of liked it better at 0. I like it better that way. Okay. Let's try to line this up in a similar manner. So that was from corner to corner. Let's everyone only using Blender. Actually, I'm not even using Blender. I'm using Pro Builder and Maya. I am very much a Blender noob, but I mean, it's once you know the theory, it's all the same for the most part. I am trying Crossworld N. I am trying very hard not to be cursing like a pirate, because that is my natural my natural way of speaking it. Probably not the greatest way, but trying to think of this as a work environment, even though I'm at home. How I behave. Let's smooth that out. There we go. Yeah, I agree with you, Zukin. Bad words do just fall out. You changed your streams to adult only. I think I put in my my chat thing, try to keep it PG-13, and I would attempt to do the same. So mine's PG-13. I think I get away with like what's the rating system? I get one F-bomb stream then, technically. Alright, that blue is not balanced. Let's play with that a little bit more. I'll have to make a texture that lets me pitch it without having to account for the colors. It's close. It's closer. That's the color code. I can try putting it in. I still think the well, actually it worked pretty well. It's still a little off, but again, this naturally I think is pitched slightly into a yellow. So the numbers are going to be a little bit off. Try that one. Nah, it's too deep, I think. At least compared to this. Although that might be a better color overall. But I had to change this to match those colors a little bit better. Oh, Goblin. I put it in the art discussion yesterday. The textures that I'm playing with. If you wanted to still play around with them, have at it. Otherwise, at some point I'll do it, but ain't too bad. Colors again slightly off, but also the lighting is. Graphic style is real nice, even the screenshots. See how it goes with realistic lighting, and the old school style theme on top of it is really cool. It's been a fun challenge. Also, I mean, I used to do low poly, like really low poly stuff when I was learning 3D modeling and stuff like that, because I'm always a huge EverQuest fan and always wanted to work on something very EverQuest based. Great with this project. but yeah, it's been a fun challenge just trying to get like how much modeling is too much modeling that it starts to feel too modern with the more modern techniques with the texturing, or just the larger extra sizes. I mean, granted, we're not using, these are PBR textures. I'm not necessarily throwing like glossy or roughness maps on these yet, or have any plan to do that. But with that said, I do have maps that come along the way I build textures. So if the team did make that pivot, which I don't know if that is the way to go, because I think it would push it too modern. But it's been a fun like give and take balancing, and how much is too much detail. Do we want the little seams like here modeled, or do we want to keep it nice and flat, and overhang versus this has the overhang, this doesn't. Just those little decisions can make a pretty big difference. Like I don't have them in here anymore, I don't think. I had some stairs that I had modeled when I first started talking to Sean, that I was just kind of playing around with, and I threw a real crappy trim sheet on there, and just did some modeling, breaking up like, you know, the scale. These are all obviously the exact same height and the exact same depth for the steps. You know, how does that look? Does that fit the aesthetic if we break that symmetry up a little bit? And I think that's great in some areas. And then, you know, adding a little bit of deformation to them. So that right here with this one. So doing something more like, this is smaller stuff. Starting to break up how the steps are. How does that feel? Is it, you know, does it make it feel too modern? Does it make it feel not? And for the most part, I think doing this type of stuff actually works. Let's bring that down. That was a little dramatic. I think this kind of stuff works pretty well with the aesthetic. When I started getting into like bevels, so like, you know, having like little beveled areas on the edges, and I have yet to try to bevel just a vertice in this, so hopefully this doesn't. Oh, it's not even gonna give me the option to do that. Never mind. But like beveling edges and stuff like that, I think gets a little too modern and a little too out of what we're aiming for. But I think this type of stuff works fairly well to just kind of make it look a little bit irregular, and not, you know, especially for like dungeons or stuff like that. I think it is, yeah, pushing some modern techniques into the classic feel to kind of really get what we're looking for, but without going over the top. It's been a lot of the stuff that I've been playing with behind the scenes. Let's see. Oh, you got another color. I will check that out in a second, Goblin. There's so much to it. I love it, and that's why I enjoy game design profession. You can find that balance. Yep, exactly. It just takes the time and the tweak, you know, the dedication to wanting to find it, and having and being given the time to find it. So I agree there. It could be too much, but honestly, I've seen it work just to make it more bumpy and flat. But not too much bumpiness. Yeah, it's easy to undo. Yeah, it's easy to dial back things as well. You know, try to push it more modern. Oh, and you can kind of tell really when you've gone over that cliff, I think, and how far is too far. Yeah, I'm gonna play around with these stairs a little bit. Now that I've kind of started this. Leave this one that's got a little bit of different stuff going on with it in here. How the team likes it as they get to run around and see things and play with it. I don't know if I want to mess with too much with stuff like it's pushing down, but I'll do one right there. How that looks. I don't know how. I have to. I haven't played with the cut tool in here, and I don't want to screw it up. Seems like the textures could give that bumpy or crumbly effect without touching the polys. Yeah, for the most part, I think we can. And the plan is to give some of that with decals. So eventually we'll create some decals, you know, that have the kind of crumbly, broken up look. And, you know, these ones are very, like, kind of just plain Adobe loam walls right now. Some of them might have colors and, you know, painted, so they're not just kind of beige. And then, you know, adding stuff that kind of looks like chipped, broken areas. Maybe areas that are, like, where the, like, plaster or Adobe is broken off and you see the mud brick underneath. Playing around with that stuff is going to be huge. Yeah, exactly. Goblin is going to be huge, part of how the game looks. But at some, you know, playing around with a little bit, with texture, or, with polys and stuff here and there. You know, maybe not for this part, but for a dungeon, or, you know, some sort of, like, ruined stairs on you know, the side of a cliff or something like that. You know, those types of things can I think work. But again, it's one of those, it's a balance. You don't want to go too much of it, and you don't want to, because too much of it feels too modeled and it feels too modern. Yeah. The decals are, I think, are going to really come into that. We haven't started working on any of the decals, but I have ideas on, you know, things that we can do. You know, just different, like, patches, staining, dirt, you know, all sorts of different things to play around with. But those will be the touches that kind of really push it. And then, you know, we'll have subtle little things like this, that kind of help break up silhouettes and edges. And then just in your mind will, between, you know, subtle little geometry stuff like this, with a bit of a, you know, a broken decal projected on here, or downwards from here, can go a long excuse me, can go a long way for your mind just filling in more what's going on there. I think that really is going to help kind of with that old school feel, where, you know, it was our minds that were filling in a lot of that info back in the day. Yeah, I'm just going to leave that. I'll just play with that a little bit. Cool. So let's save this, and let's hop back into the game. Ooh, and I'm going to have to... I'll probably get going around 3 my time. I don't know if my kids are still listening, but they'll be back home by 4, and I wanted to get some stuff cleaned up around the apartment before they get back, and I still have some more grading to do for finals for tomorrow. Whoa, what a nice little jump there. Every time I come in, it's always nighttime. Well, it's not always, but whenever I'm trying to look up at something far away, it always ends up being nighttime. It's just my luck. Yeah, I think that kind of works. A lot of the... maybe, you know, play around with it a little bit more so it feels a little bit more... It's drooping here. It kind of feels a little too taut there for me. This side feels alright. I think this side just needs to be a drop down an inch. But potentially you could get away with doing a lot of the drapery type stuff with Pro Builder assets. Just use planes with double-sided materials. Ooh, that would be awesome. Do get some subsurface into this material so that the moon gives you a nice highlight, or the sun. That would be kind of cool. We should definitely play around with that idea. Again, you know, just a little subtle, more modern texture. Texture ideas that will really kind of help make the old school aesthetic just feel newer and more modern, without getting into hyper modeling everything. Wonder. Let's think of, I have not done subsurface in Unity before. I've done it in Unreal plenty of times. See here. Try to say like at a 0.5 to start. Let's see how this looks. Actually, I think I just got it working. Let's take a look. So essentially with the texture, if you have your material set to be subsurface scattering, it's going to act like, you know, anything that has light that can disperse through it. So, you know, for instance, this piece of paper, you know, the light is going through it. My hand, light is going through it. You just need to, you may need to, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. There's this one. You might need to play around with, like, the coloring and where you want it to go through. There are lights attached to the moons, but they're not interacting with it right now. Let me see. So, like this, essentially. So now, right, this is not, you know, by any means tuned properly, because I just grabbed this one in here. But that light now is making that transparent. Not transparent, but it's, you know, just exactly like I just did with this. You know, it's just defined on whatever the texture color is. Whenever it lights up, it's going to do that. It's going to, you know, do that. And then I've also pitched the overall color that Goblin sent me. Oh, you know what, Goblin? I completely forgot to throw in that last one. So scatterbrained. Hold on a second. Let's test that next color. But now these would actually work really cool with you know, the torches or something like that. Like if I bring a torch over here, it should play off that torch's light. Yep, I double as a warlock. So I've just got a little bit of witchcraft going on with the light. But that should work pretty well for us. And it'll probably look pretty sweet underneath too. It'll be really cool if we can get it to play with the sun and the moons. Alright, so let me play around with that color that Goblin sent me. Helps if I remember where I put blue. Actually, I like that color. Although it's messing with the subsurface because it's not tuned properly. I'll leave it at that because it just looks more natural. And let's, for now, I'm already kind of breaking this light that's hiding over here. So I'm just going to move it over here so we can see it interact with it. To a -90. Now, hopefully this has a long enough range that we'll actually get to see it. I didn't actually recolor it, Sean. I just duplicated it and just multiplied the color in, which isn't working perfectly for this, just because Maria's texture has a little bit of a yellow to it. So if I desaturated this, it would probably work a little bit better with the multiplication, because the color comes out pitched slightly yellow. But yeah, it just kind of, you know, as opposed to adding in a bunch of extra textures, you can just multiply in different colors. Eventually, yeah, that'd be awesome to have the PSDs, because if I am going to play around with this idea of subsurface scattering, it'll probably be beneficial to have those so that I can just pitch the colors and stuff like that as needed. Let's take a look in game and see if this is gonna let us see it. Ah! Walked right off the edge. Not quite. I think it's the radius on the torch is too small. Let's see if the sun interacts with it once it comes up. Oh yeah, it's working. You get that nice little silhouette from the shadows of everything hitting it. And that'll look even nicer once it's all fine-tuned. Now, is it going to give a nice silhouette of the sun in it once it gets up? That's what my question is. Not quite. You might have to figure out a way of getting that to work, because I think that will look awesome. As opposed to it just disappearing. It's got a nice, like, soft glow to it, but having, like, seeing the sun through them as they're going is going to look super, super cool. I'll have to play around with that. And then it'll probably be a little bit, have to do something with probably both me and Ali playing around with either the skybox and or texture. But that's gonna look awesome. it's already looking pretty cool like that. Although it's really green right now, but that'll change. We'll pitch it to whatever color it's supposed to be in. But I'm already liking it. All right, guys. It's already 3. So I am going to probably call the stream right around now because I need to get a couple things cleaned up before my kids get back in an hour. And then I am going to try to do more regular streams, especially over my winter break at school. Well, at work. Again, I'm a teacher. And I'm looking at doing a regular Monday night stream at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll do Wednesday streams over lunch, probably around 1. Except since Sean's doing his on Wednesday, I'll just move that to like an 8 p.m. on Wednesday this week. And then, you know, I might do a couple other streams here and there on the weekends or something like that. But 8 p.m. Monday and 1 p.m. Wednesday are going to be what I'm aiming for streams. And if I end up delaying a stream or something like that, I'll say something in the M&M Discord to let you guys know. But I'm pretty happy with the progress that I've made on these last 2 ones. I really need to fix that green, how green that is. That is bugging me a little bit, but it still looks pretty sweet at the same time. But yeah, so I'm gonna get going, guys. Thanks for everyone, you know, chatting with me and a couple follows I got. And I will talk to you guys later. Oh, the wrong thing.